trained mental health workers from the county, and 15 peer navigators and other specialists from the health plans themselves. 50 people divided into 10 teams. Each team, and this is going to take 6 months to get up to scale under the agreement. Each team is going to be responsible for intensively navigating 2 encampments a month. That's 20 encampments every month. 20. But what are they going to do? They're going to go into those encampments, and it's going to take 2 weeks, if it takes 4 weeks, if it takes 6 weeks. They are going to work to build that trust, to navigate people off the streets. The agreement says, by the way, that they will try to engage people voluntarily first, but involuntarily as necessary. And that means using the legal tools like Laura's Law, care courts when it comes to Sacramento County in 2024, and not letting people remain in those conditions. Secondly, the agreement provides a new legal standard. The county is responsible now for doing, and this is the language, whatever it takes to get people off the streets. That's shelter, that's housing, and that's the array of services, voluntary or involuntary, for mental health, substance abuse, employment training, whatever it takes. So, we're starting. We've got 3 teams now, right, Nick? And it's kind of like the worst kept secret around about what sort of my plan is, because we haven't been formal about it, but this is what the plan is. I'm going to share it with you. We decided, Rich Desmond and I have decided, with our teams, we'll do a senior manager, county executive, and our teams, that we must show the people, you, that we can actually clean up a major corridor in a humane and effective way. So I'm choosing the WX freeway and the I-80 corridor. That's where I want to start. Okay? We estimate that there are about, I don't know what the number is, about 250 people who are living in tents from 5th Street all the way to Alhambra and around Bed. We have 2 teams that are already starting. One team from the East End, one team from the West End. And they are working. Here's our problem and our challenge. I'm just going to be very upfront with you. We have 1,100 beds tonight. As I said, the county's up to about 1,300, but that's countywide. We are at capacity. We need more beds. And so I decided I'm using all my connections and contacts. I always do anyways. But I am working directly with the governor's office and the administration because we need help. I need more beds. I want Cal Expo. That's what I want. Because it is a large public facility that's actually not that close to residential neighborhoods. And with all due respect to people who do good work out there and put on the state fair and all that, I think it's underutilized. So I don't have the breakthrough yet, but I'm working with the governor's office to get beds. Because we need them. We gotta get them. We gotta get them quickly. Because that outreach and engagement that the DCR and the county and the health plans are doing will not be successful if there's not any place to navigate people to. Okay. There's another part of this that you're going to ask me about, so I'm going to answer you before you even ask me. And that is, what about enforcement? What about enforcement? Because you read inside SAC, whatever. They love you in the paper, by the way. I don't know if you read it, but stop being so nice to me all the time. that the city is not enforcing it. The city's not enforcing it. First of all, let me tell you what the partnership agreement calls for. Number one, the police department has a proper role here. And you know what the proper role is? It's to make sure that as we're trying to work with people who want to get out of these encampments, the damn drug dealers, predators who are coming at night, selling this shit, and doing all wrecking people's lives, that they get arrested. There's enforcement on the front end, okay? There's also enforcement on the back end. Because after DCR and the county have done their work, and I don't care if it takes 6 weeks or 2 months, want to do it right. If there are people who the county cannot get in voluntarily for whatever reason, if in fact, somebody's absolutely unwilling to move, let me just tell you where I stand, where I've always stood. Move them. People don't have the right to be there. My difference with some others has been, I want our work to be effective. I want it to be humane, and I want it to be effective. And I don't think it's effective to move people from one part of the corridor to another. But in the end, once we've made these efforts, people cannot remain in these encampments. There's a second part of enforcement. Just bring out my statistics here. Because we hear all the time from critics, critics come with the territory. We've been doing this a long time. City's not enforcing the sidewalk ordinance. How many times I hear that? Well, let's talk about some facts, okay? And this is from... Okay,
let him talk.
You gonna let me finish? So, DCR did a report for me, and we can go back, for any time period that you want. Calls for services related to homelessness from the period January 27th to February 3rd, specifically breaking out the sidewalk ordinance, which we passed, voted for, by the way, voted for unanimously. And here are the statistics for that 1 week, which was just a week ago. 127 cases open, 70 resolved, which means that people either voluntarily complied with with leaving the 4-foot ingress of the sidewalk, or they were forced to move. One of the two, 70. In East Sacramento, 14 cases open that week, 11 were resolved in that way. I'll let Nick and Captain talk more about that. Here's one of our challenges with the sidewalk ordinance. People come back. They come back. So they'll go out and do it again. So it gets back to the same thing. We need to have the capacity to get people out of these encampments long term. Because we don't have enough police officers. We don't have enough DCR staff to be on every corner that you're rightfully concerned about, to be able to, one, get people out, which they are, as you see it from these statistics, but then to ensure that they don't come back. So I wanted to just give you a little bit of that background on what's in my head and what I think about and what I do every single day as we try to confront these challenges. We're trying to achieve a breakthrough with this partnership agreement and by focusing on a corridor, this corridor that is so visible that it joins our neighborhood, it abuts the neighborhoods, and that is wrong. It's wrong. But we're trying to do it in a humane way, and more than humane, regardless of what your belief is about this issue, in an effective way. And at the same time, to enforce the laws, the ordinances that we passed. I'm happy to open it up to questions. Thank you.
Okay, so to make this easy and have everybody to be able to have a conversation, what I ask is that we actually if you want to talk, can you please form a line here so that we can go through these curves